Imagine standing before a monument built nearly 5,000 years ago. No cement, no iron tools, no modern machinery, just hundreds of massive stones, some weighing over 25 tons, carefully arranged in a perfect landscape. Thousands of years have passed. Empires have risen and fallen. Civilizations have disappeared. Yet Stonehenge remains. Silent, mysterious, and despite centuries of research, no one can say with complete certainty why it was built. Tonight, we follow the clues left behind through 5,000 years of history, long before Stonehenge became the monument we recognize today. This was simply an open stretch of rolling countryside in southern England. But something about this place drew people here. Around 3000 BC, Neolithic communities dug a massive circular ditch surrounded by an earth bank. Inside it, they placed wooden posts and buried cremated human remains. Today, archaeologists believe this may have been one of Britain's earliest ceremonial cemeteries. At this point, there were no giant stones, only earth, wood, and ritual. Yet the story had only begun. Several centuries later, everything changed. Enormous sandstone blocks, known today as sarsen stones, began arriving from the Marlborough Downs, nearly 25 kilometers away. Even more astonishing were the smaller bluestones. Modern geological studies have traced many of them to the Prehistoric Hills in Wales, more than 200 kilometers from Stonehenge. How did Neolithic people move stones weighing several tons across rivers, forests, and rugged terrain? Archaeologists propose sledges, rollers, ropes, waterways, and extraordinary teamwork. No one knows exactly how it was done, but somehow they succeeded. The monument slowly took the shape we recognize today. A giant stone circle, massive lintels balanced above upright pillars, an engineering achievement unlike anything else in prehistoric Europe. And then comes the greatest question of all. Why? Why devote generations of labor to constructing something so enormous? One possibility is that Stonehenge functioned as a sacred ceremonial center. Excavations have uncovered burials, ritual objects, and evidence of large seasonal gatherings. Others suggest it served as a place where different communities united peacefully during important festivals. Some researchers have even proposed that the blue stones were believed to possess healing powers. Thousands may have traveled here seeking physical or spiritual restoration, but perhaps the most famous theory concerns the sky itself. On the morning of the summer solstice, something extraordinary happens. As the sun rises, its first rays shine directly through the monument's central axis. This alignment is no coincidence. The builders clearly understood the movements of the sun with astonishing precision. For centuries, people wondered whether Stonehenge functioned as an ancient astronomical observatory. In the 1960s, astronomer Professor Gerald Hawkins used one of the first computers available for archaeological research. His calculations suggested that the monument's alignments might predict eclipses and other celestial events. His book ignited worldwide fascination. Although many archaeologists later argued that some of his conclusions went too far, Hawkins transformed the way people looked at Stonehenge. No longer just a pile of stones, but perhaps a prehistoric calendar written in rock. Today, many visitors associate Stonehenge with the Druids. Every summer solstice, modern Druid groups gather to celebrate the sunrise. The image feels timeless, but history tells a different story. The original monument was already over 2,000 years old before the Celtic Druids appeared in Britain. There is no archaeological evidence that they built Stonehenge. Even so, they almost certainly encountered it. Imagine arriving before these towering stones, already ancient even in your own lifetime. Perhaps they adopted it as a sacred place. Perhaps they created new rituals around a monument whose true origins had already faded into legend. Sometimes, history inherits mysteries it did not create. By the 17th century, Stonehenge had become one of England's greatest puzzles. King James I became fascinated by the monument. He asked his royal architect, Inigo Jones, to investigate. Jones could not believe that ancient Britons had constructed something so geometrically sophisticated. Instead, he concluded that Stonehenge must have been built by the Romans. His beautifully illustrated book shaped public opinion for generations. Today, archaeology has proven that conclusion incorrect. Stonehenge was already more than 1,000 years old before the Romans reached Britain. Yet, Jones deserves credit for something remarkable. He was among the first to study the monument scientifically, rather than treating it merely as legend. As centuries passed, Stonehenge attracted kings, artists, scientists, writers, and millions of ordinary travelers. Painters like J.M.W. Turner captured its haunting silhouette. Antiquarians carefully measured every stone. Photographers transformed it into one of the world's most recognizable monuments. Today, more than 1 million people visit each year. Some arrive seeking history, others seek spirituality. Many simply stand in silence. Because Stonehenge has a strange effect. It makes people ask questions. For some, its power is symbolic. It reminds humanity of what cooperation can achieve. For others, its power is spiritual. A place where the landscape, the sky, and human imagination meet. Scientists have found no evidence that Stonehenge possesses supernatural energy. Yet its psychological impact is undeniable. Standing among stones raised nearly 5 millennia ago, most visitors experience the same emotion: wonder. Sometimes that is power enough. 5,000 years have passed. The people who built Stonehenge left no written language, no names, no explanations, only stones. Generation after generation has tried to solve the mystery. Some searched in mythology, others in astronomy, others in archaeology. Each discovered another piece of the puzzle, but never the entire picture. Perhaps that is why Stonehenge continues to fascinate us. Not because we know everything about it, but because after 5,000 years, it still invites us to ask one more question. If you enjoy uncovering the mysteries hidden beneath history, subscribe to Curiosphere and join us as we explore the world's most fascinating places, civilizations, and legends. And now we want to hear from you. What do you think Stonehenge was really built for? A sacred temple? An astronomical observatory? A gathering place? Or something we've yet to discover? Until next time, stay curious.